Brad, this is Alan Cocker with ABC, former hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies and the Seattle Mariners. We're going to take a look at your video this morning. The first things I always look at, Brad, is just to make sure that we are set up in a balanced athletic position. And the biggest thing for me, maintaining balance, is keeping our knees inside of our feet and our head inside of our knees. The setup position is the position in hitting that you will see the widest variance in differences with hitters of all ages. But as you can see here, you're in a good balanced position. Everything sets up inside of your feet nicely. Okay, we're going to take this now. We're going to take this to the load phase of the swing. And the load is basically, it's a gathering of weight to the inside part of your back leg in here. I want to gather energy and weight into this back part of my leg. You've done a good job of keeping this knee inside here. We don't want that knee to go outside this back foot and get out here over your back foot. We don't want to get this head back here either. You've done a good job of that. We want to try to eliminate sway, because as we take it to the phase where the foot lands, all right, the foot will come down, and with most hitters, yourself included, the toe will land first, all right, but it is not until the back heel gets firmly planted into the ground are we in a loaded position, all right. The other thing that I look at this particular point of the swing is we want to make sure that this front stride foot is no more open than 45 degrees, okay. You can see here you're at 56. When this front stride foot, the heel plants in that front stride foot, when it's open more than 45 degrees, we have a tendency, okay, to get this front hip right here will get what I call just a little bit leaky, all right. It will leak and start to open to the pull side just a little bit quickly. We'll start coming in this direction. You want to try to keep these hips square in this area so that we have a chance to cover the entire strike zone, particularly those pitches that are outer half and outer third. When we start to leak open, it makes it difficult as we get a little bit older to handle pitches outer half, outer third, and particularly breaking balls that are going away from us. The other thing I look for is we hear the term stay back, okay? And as you can see here, your head is kind of sitting back. I'd rather see the head more in a centered position somewhere over your belt buckle, okay? Basically, Brad, staying back for me means keeping this foot inside, or keeping this knee inside my front foot. You've done a good job there, okay? But because your head is sitting back here, just a little bit behind your belt buckle, it's causing this front hip to want to leak open just a little bit too quick, along with this front foot right here, open a little bit more than 45 degrees. So one thing we can do is we can try to, when we get to the touchdown position, we can get that head just a little bit sitting more over the belt buckle, okay? The first move in the swing is all the weight that I have gathered into this back leg right in here will now be generated forward with my back knee. It will be generated forward to the inside part of my stride leg, okay, the inner part of my thigh into my stride leg. That's direction to the ball, and it's also drive through the ball. So that back knee will fire into the front thigh. The first move with the hands will be this elbow drops down into the slot, into the rib cage, just off the back hip, okay? We're trying to get our hands to work in front of our body, okay? So once I get to this position, I want to be shoulder, elbow, and hip right here. As you can see, your elbow has slid ahead of your power source just a little bit, okay? And what this does is it causes our bat to drag through the hitting zone just a little bit, along with the front side opening a little too quickly. We'd like to see the hands in this position. As we move forward, we'd like to see the hands starting to work just a little bit more in front of the body, somewhere out in this position. and we want to try to get those hands in front of my center of gravity, which is my belly button or my belt buckle. Okay, we'll erase and we'll run forward just a little bit more. Okay, we'll take it to contact. I see some good things here. I see palm up, palm down. We're starting to roll that top hand just a little quickly, but I do see your head and eyes working right down the barrel of the bat, which is good. I think it's important to know as soon as the eyes leave the hitting zone, then the barrel of the bat is going to follow as well. So it's good discipline, good practice habit to just get into keeping the head and eyes in the hitting zone past contact, so that we can assure that we're getting good full extension through the baseball. Okay, we'll run forward, and we've been just a little leaky with the front hip, and just a little sitting back with our head over our back side, and it's kind of caused our swing to kind of want to come out of the hitting area a little too quickly. You know, we're getting some extension here, but I'd like to, if that head were sitting more in this area, right in here, we would keep this extension going through the hitting zone just a little bit longer. We can see the very next clip, your bat's going to be starting to work out of the hitting zone. So if we've got to have perfect direction and perfect timing to the baseball in order to hit the ball the best we can. Keeping that bat traveling through the hitting zone just allows for a little bit of error in our timing. It's going to be tough to have perfect timing all the time as a hitter. So we run forward, and you will finish just a little bit out of the hitting zone, just a little too quickly. So one thing I would suggest for you, Brad, is some tee work. And we're going to work the tee once you get to this position. Okay, we're going to work a tee out here on the outer half of the plate. I'm going to set it up even with my front foot. Okay, maybe just inside my front foot. I'm going to set this tee up. All right, and again, this is going to be outer half, outer third. And what I'd like for you to do is when this heel plants right here, when that heel plants, I'd like for you to just check yourself and make sure that this head right here is more over your belt buckle instead of behind your belt buckle. And you can see here we're just a little bit behind. That's causing us to sit back. It's not going to let us get the drive and the extension through the baseball. So in order to stay through a ball middle away, I've got to get myself more centered. I've got to make sure that this stride foot right here is no more open than 45. That's going to keep this, it's going to keep our hips more square to the plate. Okay, then we start our swing. We drive this back knee into this front thigh. We're going to work to get this connection right here so that this shoulder, the elbow, and this back hip are all in alignment, and that will help us stay through the ball. But we're going to set it outer half and force ourselves to stay on the ball just a little bit longer, a little bit better extension. We'll drive this ball through the right side of the cage. If you do this drill on a field, then we'll be driving line drives through the second baseman or line drives into right center. So, Brad, that's my suggestion, bud. I want to thank you for coming to our camp, and best of luck.